I see traders are going to hate this, and I just don't care about it. Simply because break and retest for me, by far, the most profitable and the most simple strategy out there by far combined. There's, normally when you see a very simple, very profitable strategy, it's going to be very complicated as well. I mean, even when you're trading ICT, you only get typical 1 to 2, 1 to 3, smart money concepts, 25 fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps, and all that kind of stuff, right? All that, I mean, the average person, that is way too much information. Way too much information. I'm going to show you something super simple. And this is why most of you are failing, right? I'm going to be straight up, very clear. This is why so many of you are failing. It's simply because, you look, trying to figure out the direction of the market. And you're trying to figure out, which strategy, first of all, which strategy to use. You don't have an edge. Let's be clear about that. You don't even have an edge. You try to figure out then which direction of the market, right? With this simple indicator, I'm not selling this indicator or anything like that as well. It's a simple EMA indicator, guys. You just need to know the direction of the trend. Then you got to mark out your zones. Obviously, my biggest strength is the way I mark out my zones, and obviously this is what I show to my students in the mentorship. By the way, the course is closed, guys. I want to make a big already announced it in front of my 1500 member group in the Discord community. Link will be in the video description. Especially the mentorship side, the elite group is super active, even though the public side is a little bit it's still okay, it's still alright. This is just obviously in the funded certificate section, but students just doing well. But I show, and obviously many of my certificates in there as well from my prop firms, how I'm able to pass prop firms like within 1-2 trades, sometimes in 1-2 days. And I'm not just saying it. Check out my videos. I'm posting more than a few hundred, right? 400 videos, probably about 500, I don't know. I'm including shorts there as well. But check out even in the mentorship, right? I'm sorry, in the Discord community, right? There's a reason why. Trade with the trend. Not only that, the market's going to do all the heavy lifting, and it's just the psychological stress relief that you get as well. If you're trading ICT concepts, and yes, I'm saying do not trade it. I've been there. Now, it does work, every strategy works, but it works for the small minority. A very, 1 out of maybe 1,000 people. Do you know when people give you statistics, guys? ICT works for, or even any of the strategy, I think it's far lower than the actual, the statistics are way far lower. I think the best shot is, break and retest. No simple way to put it. Why? Well, look at this. Let's break this down, right? This is gold. Now, everyone knows gold being, obviously we've been bullish for quite a while. Well, a really long time. And then market does a, huge dip down here. Let me just move this out of the way so you can actually see. Let's see the exact time of day. So on Thursday 29, around 3 p.m. UK time, we get a huge nosedive, right? Huge nosedive. Price comes back up. Now, at this point over here, this was the first early sign, and no, this indicator is not lagging. It's very, very accurate, straight to the point. As soon as this candle got printed, this one here start falling. We don't want to get in from here, first of all, simply because, yes, it could reverse, but you want the candle to settle first. Once it settles, now we know, okay, downtrend. But then you can obviously, whenever there's any confusion, align it with the bigger time frame. The bigger time frame was still saying we are bullish. Obviously, it makes sense. We've not broken the major support levels until over here. Until you start seeing red after this candle prints. Go back to the small time frame. Yes, we are definitely bearish. But then look at this. Support levels are created here, just the way resistance was created over there. Price breaks through. Look at this super strong bearish long wick rejection candle. And then it breaks through the zone as well beautifully. And you could have just capitalized. I mean, first of all, just before I do go and break this down on a small time frame. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this candle here on the 1 hour time frame. I do not want to mess with that. What I'm trying to say is, I don't want to take buys if that's clearly showing me, a bearish signal. Look at this. Huge bearish engulfing as well. Engulfs the previous 4 bullish candles. A monster of a bearish candle. Price breaks through. Now, is that enough for us to take the trade? No. It breaks through. You gotta let it, solidify. You gotta let it turn to. It's like you don't build when you're building. Let's just say a building or constructing a structure of any sort, a house or whatever. the builders don't just start building just because, you know, you gotta, what I'm trying to say, you gotta wait for the concrete, you know, you got to dry out. And what I mean by that is, look at this, the candlesticks over here have dried out below the zone, just because whenever the zone, price breaks through, right, remember one thing, at that point it's still a bit, you know, soft, it's still a bit wet, it's still, you gotta wait for it to you know, the concrete to harden and become solid, and which is obviously down here. Once it does, once price has settled, probably not the best example I give there, but I hope you understand what I'm just trying to say. Once price has settled, it comes back up. Look at all these rejection wicks. Price never, and again, this is what I show obviously to my students, and I'm going to be so selective now. I'm going to be so selective. You can drop me messages and all that, but I'm going to be so selective who I work with. I do not work with beginners. It's going to be way more harder now to get into the mentorship. I'm going to take on like maybe 5 to 10 students maximum per month, not even that probably. So, you know, obviously got to do the course as well, because I just believe that, you know, watching a video is not enough. There's got to be accountability, there's got to be, you know, chart time involved as well, you know. So I've just got rid of it. And obviously the whole idea behind the course, it was a super affordable course anyway. The whole idea was super cheap. I think 2 digits only, £99. But the whole idea was to, I was getting so many messages from third world countries, you know, they're like, we can't afford the mentorship, even though that's super thingy. But, you know, anyway, yeah, let's just forget about that now. Anyways, price comes through, wick rejections, and price started tumbling. Now, what do you see in here, guys? Let me break this down on a smaller time frame. I see a left shoulder, the head over here. The right shoulder failed to break the zone. Now, while, look at this, when it comes over here, what do we see? Price does, you know, create a little bit, you know, bullish candles, you know, momentum over here. But if you look at only the highs of the wicks, these wicks fail to break the highs of the previous left shoulder. So we are still, what I'm trying to say is, price makes a low, a lower high, a new low, price comes back up, fails to make a new high, this is a higher low, and then price just tumbles down here. Sorry, it's a low and a lower high, and then price tumbles down here. So obviously then we get a super strong bullish candle over here, that's why price comes all the way back up. Now, does this mean we're bullish? No, I need, you know, more confluences. Even though we turn obviously a little bit green over here, let's go on the 1 hour time frame. We are very, very much bearish, guys and girls. 1 to 7 over here, hits nice clean. 1 to 7 over here, 1 to 7 over here. If I'll just give you a little sneak peek in the VIP group, let's bring up the winners over here. Let's show you. Obviously my strategy is more refined. I mean, students, you know, catching 1 to 6s. We make this look very, very simple. I can keep on going, you know, it's insane. And the same student here catching a 1 to 7 as well. It's crazy. It's crazy. Why is she crying? Let's see. Oh yeah, this particular student just missing on a position. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah, I hope you found value from this. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Take care. I'm out. Yeah.